Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Rich from Young Blood Reviews here, and it is Thursday here on Bookish Days, and I'm finally on summer break. The reason I've not been here for a few weeks is I've had loads of stuff to study for, and in my little old town of Livingston, we have a geometry teacher who loves to give us a type of geometry dictionary, which we had to find 62 words, and we had to give a definition for them, and find a picture that had an example of it. So it made it really hard, and I made 105 on it, which I was so happy about because I did Game of Thrones and I did a mixture of movies, and I was very happy about it. And anybody who knows me well enough knows that I love Game of Thrones, and it was not hard to do a Game of Thrones theme for me because I know that show very well. But yeah, this week's topic is books that we want to see turn into classics in the future, or books that we think will be classics in the future. And I've got a lot. Some of them are already kind of classics now, which I want them to stay classics in the near future. But anyway, let's get started. First book you're going to hate me for, but it will turn out to be a classic because, I mean, who hasn't read it now? Just think about it. And it's Twilight by Stephanie Meyer. If you think this is going to be a classic, you're dead wrong. Everyone in the future will probably read this book and say, "What the heck was all the fuss about?" Either that, or they'll watch the movie. So this is going to be a classic. It just will. These next books, I hope they become classics, but there's so many of them, but that they probably won't become classics. But I'm hoping they will. And it's the House of Night series. This is the 5th one. I don't have the first one or anything. This is the first one I actually own. But this is the 5th one, I think, if I can recall. But I'm hoping these become classics, even though I would not recommend this to kids, because these are kind of graphic, and they have some scenes in them that are not meant for children. But I really would hope that these became classics, even though most YA books probably wouldn't become classics, except if they were really, really well written. But yes, I really want these to become classics. I think they would be great classics. Next one is The Iron King by Julie Kagawa. I would really love to see these become classics because these are just awesome books. Especially the new ones with Megan's brother's point of view. Most people don't like them, but I love them. They are great books, and I cannot wait for the second one. Has anyone seen the cover to the second one? It is beyond words amazing, so I'm excited. The next one is Gone by Michael Grant. If you can't see the name, it's down here. This is the UK version, and I love the UK covers a lot. I don't know why. They're just so simple, but I really like them. They have colored pages and stuff like that. But I'm hoping that these become great classics, even though they are really graphic. Books like these, they just don't go unnoticed by anybody, and a lot of adults that have read these love them. My mom has never read them. She doesn't read a lot of YA. She hates young adult stuff. The only really YA book that she ever loved was, I can't even remember it. It was a book about a meteor that hits the moon, and the moon comes closer to the earth, and the earth goes into dramatic changes, and it kind of causes the end of the world. I can't remember what it's called. Wish I could. But books that are like these, that are like basically end of the world books, they are ones that will become classics, and I'm very, very positively sure that these will become great classics. The next one is The City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. These will definitely become classics, mostly for kids. Or, not kids, but, teens. These will become great classics mostly because they are very popular, and the movie will I believe the movie will do a lot of justice, even though people don't like Jamie Campbell Bower. I think he will do really well, and the fact that Lily Collins is playing Clary, if I had seen Alex Pettyfer play with Lily Collins, it just wouldn't have done well for me. But I love these books, and a lot of people do love them, and I think they will end up becoming classics for teens on into the future. A lot of people that come up to me and say, "Hey, Ridge, what's a good book I need to read? Because I'm all out. I have no idea what to read." And I'm like, "Have you read City of Bones?" And sometimes they say no, and I'm like, get to it. Just don't even think about it. Go to the library right now, or somewhere, to get this book. Because these books are just amazing. They're beyond words to describe. So definitely going to become classics, I think, one day. And now these are, well, I've got one more to show that's not a classic. It kind of could be considered a classic since it's been out for a long time. But it is The Game of Thrones by George R. Martin. These definitely need to be classics. Not just for teens, even though they aren't meant to be teen books, but for adults. I mean, these books are amazing. Lots of good fantasy in the show. So good. I love the show, but the books are way better. I just hope to see these one day get a lot of recognition, more than what they do now. They don't get a lot of recognition now, even though it is a TV show. But I love this series. I love them a lot. And the show does the book such justice, because the show kind of follows the book, which makes me so happy. And I just hope to one day see these books turn into great classics, because they are amazing. The next one is, this one is already a classic, and most people have not even read them, which is kind of sad because it is a really good book, and it is To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. This is a really great book, and I had to read it back in 8th grade, and I loved it. I loved To Kill a Mockingbird. It is such an original book. I don't really know how to describe it. It's such an original summery book. This is definitely a book I could see someone like reading, like on the lake, just finding something to read in the sun. This is a really great book. If you haven't read it, I would go pick it up. And watch the movie after you read the book. Do not watch the movie before you read the book. It just completely ruins it. These books, I hope to see at least some people read these in the near future. They may not, but then again, they may. I'm probably going to make my kids read them one day. The first one is Dracula by Bram Stoker, and this is the Barnes & Noble collection book, and I love this book because it's red and black and colored pages. I love Dracula, and I especially love this cover. This cover blows me out of the water, and it was $9.99 at Barnes & Noble, and I got it for Christmas, so I was very excited to see this. And I can't wait to make my kids read it one day, because it's such a great book, and that's why I think it'll still be a classic, even into the latter days of the youthful life of Rich Simmons. The next one is all the H.P. Lovecraft, The Complete Fiction. I've read only one story out of this, and it was really, really good, and I want to read more, but it is really good. He is a really good author, even though he's a dark author. I would love to see his stuff become just even more classical, because, I mean, they're great. I love H.P. Lovecraft, even though I've only read one story. The next one is The Complete Tales and Poems of Edgar Allan Poe. If he is not still classical, even into the latter days, I give up on life. I give up on everything, because he is an amazing writer. Great writer. And my favorite story out of his is The Murder in the Rue Morgue. Dark story, but really, really good. I read it, I think, about a year ago, and I read it on the way to Nashville, which was it was a really great story. Great story. If you want to go into detective work, it's a great story to read. Another one is the Alice's Adventures in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. I have the girliest cover of this book in the world. I mostly like it because the illustrations, they're creepy, and they really set the mood for the story. But I love this book. I love Alice in Wonderland. I've never read Through the Looking Glass, which I probably should if I love Alice in Wonderland so much. But this is a great book, and I love it, and I hope it stays a classic until the day I die. And these, I have one more. I should have got it out first thing. And it is called The 39 Clues, which a lot of people have heard about these. And this one's by Rick Riordan, but it's got a mixture of authors. These are really, really good, and I hope to see these go far, especially into the classical type books. I love these. The kids of all ages would love these, and some adults might if they love history. So I would definitely hope these become classics. And that is all for me today, you guys. I hope you guys had a great week in books, and if you want to leave down in the comments, what books would you love to see become as classics? Because there's probably a lot more out there that, I've never heard of, and I would love to know what books you would think would become classics, and just leave them down in the comments below. Happy reading!